Hi, I'm Caleb Hearon, and this is my last meal.
Every person has exactly two things in common. We all gotta eat and we're all gonna die. Today's guest is a writer, actor, podcaster, and stand-up comedian whose debut special, Model Comedian, comes out on HBO Max September 19th. In college, he often frequented the Bear Claw Center for Learning and Writing at the Meyer Library at Missouri State University. Caleb Hearon, welcome to the show.
Hey, Josh, thanks for having me.
Of course, I know education is very important to you. Tell me how you found out about the value of the Writing Center.
Okay, Josh. So when I got dropped off at college, I'm assuming you know this. When I got dropped off at college, my mom dropped me off. Okay, we moved my stuff into my dorm. Outside of the dorm, I came out to her as bisexual. And I was like, I'm bisexual, and she was like crying. She's like, am I gonna have grandkids? I was like, it's really not about you at the moment. And then I sent her away, and then I got on Grindr, which I had already, but I got on Grindr, went to the dorm next to mine, hooked up with a guy who was like a sophomore there, and after we hooked up, he was brushing his teeth, because there was a sink in his room. I know some of them had sinks in the room. Shout out Missouri State. He was brushing his teeth and he was like, you really got to use the Writing Center. It's an incredible resource. He was like an RA. And I was like, I will. And I did.
That's incredible. That's great. That's building community and building life skills. I love that.
Doing his job. I mean? Yeah, we hooked up. And then I went to the Writing Center a lot because I was a socio-political communication major. I just wrote a lot of papers. So I had to use their help a lot. But yeah, that was the first thing I learned about college.
Man, incredible.
Not funny.
What a life to live.
Hey, shout out Missouri State, go Bears. My Chance, who works on my show, is here. He went there too. But yeah, we love Missouri State.
Chance, how long did it take for you to hook up with an RA?
Still waiting.
Yeah.
Still waiting. He'll get there one day.
Well,
hold on. Let's read
hey, man.
Maybe one of those like military students who's there as like a 30-year-old.
Yeah. A non-traditional with the rolly backpack. Yeah.
Great. Thank you for being here, by the way.
Thanks for having me. I'm very excited.
Have you thought about your last meal before?
Yes, often. I think about meals pretty much constantly. I'm never not thinking about a meal. I really am. I'll be at a meal talking about my next meal with whoever I'm with.
Sometimes I'll be eating food thinking, man, I wish I was eating a meal right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's like I can't stop, and I love it. But yeah, I've thought about it quite often.
Did anything that made your list today surprise you? Were there any deep cut pulls? You're like, oh, I didn't know I felt that way about that dish.
I don't know if you have people express this to you often, but I didn't want to stress your staff out, so I tried to keep it very logistically easy.
No, you were probably the first person to ever say that, and I genuinely think that says a lot about you and where your values lie as a
I was
human.
like, what are these people going to do if I say something complicated? So I'm like picking places, and it's all stuff I love. I have a reason I picked every one of these things, and I'll talk about it, but I was thinking like, he's got some poor staff person driving around in like a beat up Toyota Corolla, like putting shit in their trunk.
Yeah.
I gotta make it easy.
No, you're absolutely correct that does happen. The worst thing is when people just say pizza from New York.
Yeah.
And then we have to say like, what kind of pizza, where in New York, what are you talking about? So you were incredibly descriptive. Like I want to say that was a very empathetic move of you to do that. How often do you think about death?
Okay. Often, but I'm way better about it. I used to be.
Is there a better and worse?
Yes, because I used to be obsessed when I was really, really depressed. Shout out to depression. Shout out to being a sophomore in college.
Depression is sponsoring this video. Actually.
Yeah. The little skeleton finger that tickles the title card. I'm familiar. I know that death and depression are big sponsors of the show. I thought about it so much that I was like paralyzed by it and like very depressed, and then it made me a hypochondriac for a while, and then I kicked that. I was like, no more, can't be doing this. I kicked hypochondria and biting my nails in the same year.
Cold turkey on both, or
I
you used the patches?
No, I used the patches on both. I said, no more, this is ruining you. But I used to think about death in such a negative way, and then I started to think of it as this might be helpful to somebody. This is how I kicked my fear of death. Okay, I'm being dead serious. I started to think of death as like when you hang out with people all day, like you had like a whole day of hanging out with your family or something, and then you drive home alone, and you like have the windows down, it's really nice, you're listening to music by yourself, and you're so glad that you just saw everybody. You're like, oh man, it was so nice to see everybody, but I'm so glad to be doing my own thing now. And I'm assuming I'll see them again at some point, but I guess kind of, who knows? I started to view death as that, to be like, oh, I just left a great hang. Maybe I'll see them again, maybe I won't, but now I'm just kind of doing my own thing for a second. And that really helped me get over it. But I was thinking about death like every minute of every day.
That's actually a really beautiful sentiment. I think it might have been Ram Dass who said, death is like taking off an uncomfortable shoe at the end of the day.
God, I hope. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it's probably not true, but isn't that beautiful to think about? That's incredible.
He's probably full of shit, but God, wouldn't that be nice? I remember there was like maybe when I was in like 4th grade, I came home from a soccer game and I was like sobbing. I was so upset. And my mom was like, what is wrong? What happened? And I was like, I'm just like, when you die, do you get to play soccer? And she was like, fuck. She was like, I don't know. So it's been on my mind for a while.
You ready to eat?
I'm ready to eat.
Let's do it. Caleb, for the first course of your final meal on Earth, we have the crispy buffalo wings with homemade ranch. These were inspired by Ye Rustic Inn, but they did refuse to give us their actual sauce, so this is all homemade.
Did they really?
Yeah! Can you talk to your boys?
Small businesses, knock it off. We're trying to help you out.
Agreed, and a can of Dr. Pepper, but then also we have one more surprise dish for you.
Okay.
Just as a gift from the kitchen.
Okay. Oh my God! Yeah, let's go. Okay.
You went on Royal Court with Brittany Broski, and she served you store-bought cinnamon rolls and lukewarm chili.
Brittany.
Because she's a terrible host. She's just rude and churlish, and so we wanted to make you the Candy City Delight fresh.
She said, sorry, I'm not Mythical Kitchen Girl. I'm sorry, I'm not Mythical Kitchen Girl. I mean, good God. Brittany, I love you so much. I'm so sorry they did this to you, girl, because this already looks way better.
Brittany, I'm so sorry you did that to Caleb. Because now we had to come correct.
Oh my God, okay.
Dig it. There's a secret ingredient in the chili, and I'm wondering if you can identify it.
If you have any knowledge of me at all, I think I know what it is. Have you ever had a cinnamon roll with chili?
I never have, no.
Oh, it's such Midwest. Depending on what part of the Midwest you're from. You guys put some grape jelly in there?
What's up, brother?
Let's go.
Let's put grape jelly in there. Why do you put grape jelly in chili?
It thickens it. It makes it sweeter. Did you enjoy your bite?
I did enjoy my bite.
Well,
Oh, fair point.
so then what is there to ask?
Hey, fair point.
No, it's it makes it thicker. It makes it sweeter. It's really nice. Grape jelly also for meatballs. Mm-hmm. Grape jelly for meatballs. Grape jelly for chili.
What meats doesn't grape jelly go with?
I don't know that there is one. Maybe chicken.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm gonna put grape jelly with chicken.
Well, grape jelly chicken wing. I think that's the only meat I have put grape jelly on.
This is really good. Oh, Brittany, I'm so sorry, girl. You're getting cooked alive.
Yeah.
Oh, this is horrible.
I refuse to apologize for this. This was under
Brittany.
reviewing.
Remind me of the people who cooked it.
So I think Lily was the architect behind this chili.
Lily.
We have an incredible staff. They do all the work. I just get to sit here and yap, and I'm incredibly grateful for them.
Can Lily hear me right now?
Yeah, she's on a headset.
Lily, this is so good, my love. You don't have to respond. Don't worry.
She's doing the Brittany Broski right now. Not
Yeah. Me not hearing a response and getting insecure. Don't worry. No need to respond, Lily.
I want to ask about the wings because I know your mom Kelly has said she could quote solve Iraq and Iran by by flying over with a case of Miller Lights and homemade chicken wings and ranch.
Yeah.
Do you think you got your activist streak from your mother? She's obviously very talented at it.
This woman, this is the most special person on earth to me. I love her so much. She's so wonderful. What happened was she came on my podcast for the second time, and the night before we were at dinner, and she was like, "How you been?" You know, I'm like, "Oh, I'm good. I'm really, spinning out about the world as usual." And I was like, Iraq and Israel and the bombs and shit, and I'm just really worried about it. And I was specifically going on a rant about when we bombed Iraq, when those planes took off from Missouri, the Air Force Base by my hometown. And I was like, God, it just feels like these really expensive planes flying over a bunch of people who don't have health care and can't afford their houses to go drop bombs on other poor people. It just feels insane. I'm telling her this, and she goes, yeah, well, I'm thinking about going out drinking with Jen this weekend. And then she comes on my show the next day, and she's like, I think, we were talking about Iraq and Iran last night. Ron never entered the conversation. But then she goes, I'm going to send chicken wings and Miller Lite and fix it. Incredible.
I think that's the sort of Midwest hospitality that you really...
A nation of people who really don't drink alcohol. Fantastic, yeah. I'm completely addicted to her. She's the coolest person who's ever lived. But yeah, I don't know if I got an activist streak from her, but I definitely wanting to fix things with food I got from her.
I respect that. Speaking of which, please dig into the wings. I'm curious how we did compared to Ye Rustic, because they are probably the best in LA.
I'm mad with them now though that they did you guys like that. Oh, I am.
Their own priorities. We never want to pull rank. We never want to ask for anything special.
I do.
Well,
I should have called them. Okay, these are incredible.
Do you have a chicken wing eating strategy?
It just depends. You're seeing one right now that I don't think I've ever done in my life.
I love that. It's your last meal. You got to live for. You got to experiment.
But this is the important thing. When you're eating a chicken wing, you got to push it off a little bit. Mm-hmm. We do this one. Sometimes you can do both.
Right.
And then you dip, and then you just
You just go side mouth. I go straight, right down the middle, right down the bite.
It works. Mm-hmm. Was this Lily again? Mm-hmm. Lily,
combination of people. This might have been Tony.
Only Lily? Only Lily, you did an amazing job.
Give her all the credit. She's the head culinary producer. The chef gets all the credit.
Oh, no, this is incredible, and the ranch is so good.
Your mom used to work at bars growing up, right?
She did.
While she was going to nursing school and raising 2 kids as a single mom?
My mom, yes, raising 2 kids by herself, working 3 jobs, and going to nursing school. She's an absolute hero. And never had the balls to do comedy, though. And
Never too late, Mom.
She would bring home chicken wings from the bar. So it was my favorite food because she would come home with them, and then we get to, eat together.
And also, it was like mom's home, so it's
Mom's home,
extra
so it was a whole
special,
thing.
yeah.
And she smelled, one of the jobs she had was she worked at a bowling alley. And so she smelled all the time when she came home. Well, a lot of times I'd be asleep and she'd come like give us a hug while we were asleep. She smelled like cigarettes and stale beer and fried food. And I was like, ah. So now, still to this day, when I walk into a bowling alley, I'm like, it feels like home.
And it sounds like, as far as parents go, like a truly heroic effort. And you one time called DFS on her because she took your PlayStation away and said that she abused you and then caused a bunch of home visits.
You come for the king, don't miss.
Do you remember the first time that you had that adult sit down with your mom and you're like, hey, as an adult now, through a retrospective lens, I understand how much you did and I'm sorry. Was there ever that conversation?
No. No, yeah, I mean, there's been a bunch of them. I think like a lot in college. I don't know if that happens for a lot of people in college. I'm assuming that it does. But really in college, just like trying to pay my bills and get myself everywhere and also do my laundry and like feed myself and do all this stuff that she was helping with. I was like, man, I can't believe she had us. You know what I mean? I distinctly remember one phone call in college. I'm sorry, this is crazy. I was like, why didn't you have an abortion? I was like, seriously, what were you thinking having kids? Because she was young. She had my brother when she was 17. She was a child. And we are very, very broke. And I'm like, what the hell were you thinking? And she's like, no, I just thought we'd figure it out. And we kind of did. And I was like, rock on, girl, whatever.
That's kind of like a laissez-faire attitude that I maybe respect in a way.
I think it's cool as hell. Meanwhile, I'm not having kids until I'm like certain that I have nothing else to do. I've got like enough money in the bank.
Yeah.
Want to be with someone for quite a while, you know?
What's your motivation behind wanting to have kids? Because I think especially like I grew up from a really poor background, single parents, both of them died pretty early. And I know damn well that a lot of my motivation is, oh, I can do this better.
Yeah.
And I don't feel good about that motivation, but I'm wondering where yours comes from.
Yeah. Well, you were born in Maryland.
He knows the bio.
And then you came out here. Did you come out here with your parents, or was there a different?
I made one stop between Maryland and here.
What was the pit stop?
Kansas City, Missouri for 5 years.
Knock it off.
Straight up.
No, you did not.
There's videos of me. There's videos and photos of me in a little Chiefs beanie. You know?
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Yeah.
What part did you live in?
I think it was called like Gladstone or Brookstone, something Stone.
Brookside or Gladstone. Those are
Gladstone. It's Gladstone. Yeah.
Oh wow, in the Northland.
Apparently.
That's crazy.
I don't remember much about it, but
it's kind of f***ed up you didn't have me on this show sooner.
I agree, actually.
Now you're kind of starting to look bad to me a little bit.
Yeah, no, I get that. I hear that a
things.
lot, actually.
Yeah, because we have all these things in common.
Take it back, but
yeah, well, let's just make this one good, I guess.
I guess. I feel like the mood is soured, but we can get it back.
Oh, I'm going to be negative the rest of the shoot. Yeah. Okay, so why do I want to have kids? Same deal. I think I can do I think I'll never do better than my mom did. I could do better than my dad with my hands tied behind my back. God love him. He just was not good. He should not have had kids. This is making my nose run, so we'll be dealing with that for the rest of the shoot. Love y'all. Yeah, I could do better than my dad. Truly, it would be impossible to imagine being as bad of a parent as my dad. He just wasn't good at it. He refused to talk to me like a kid. In some ways made me smarter, but was not, helpful. I would like to do that. And I also think like so many people I don't like are having like 6 and 7 kids and like repopulating the earth. And their kids might turn out to be really cool. Plenty of people turn out to be different than their parents. But I'm like, I want to raise like cool little kids, Yeah. I want to raise like fun, nice human beings who like do cool stuff. I think it'd be good. Do you think I shouldn't?
No.
What do you think?
What did you get from that look? I gave you a look that said I shouldn't have kids.
What do you think I shouldn't have kids?
No, I think you should have kids.
Nice.
I think if you want kids, I think that's the most important thing to having kids. And like you said, it seemed like your dad really didn't want to have kids, and your mom was at least indifferent enough to not abort you. And I think that's beautiful. That's called love. You know what I mean?
How long have you and your wife been together?
Only married for like 8 months, but together for like 5.5 years.
Long time. Why not kids?
We're. All right, Grandma. Fine. We're trying. I'm in I'm at the driving range almost every night. Well, 2 nights a week, 1 night a week. We get tired.
You're at the golf drive. You're driving golf balls.
And that was a metaphor for us having sex.
Oh, nice.
It just didn't come through.
I thought you meant I can't f my wife because I'm at the driving. Sorry, man. I can't give up going to the driving range.
You know what? I know. I went too many layers deep.
That's so funny.
I'm no Kelly Heron. I don't have the comedic timing.
I'll get her pregnant once I stop golfing so damn much.
That is something I'd say. No, we are like actively in the process of trying, and we're both like very aligned on it. But yeah, have you ever gotten close to finding that person that you think you want to have kids with, or no?
I don't know. It's a complicated question. I've recently found someone that I can imagine myself having kids with.
Is it like a romantic person or like a surrogate?
Yes, it's a romantic person. Imagine it was a surrogate. I'm like, yeah, I saw a woman the other day who just looked like she could do it.
I don't know.
I do have many surrogates in my life. I mean, all these lesbians, you know.
So many of them.
I could pick up the phone right now, I think, and get a lesbian to go down to the clinic. But
who are the top 3 lesbians in your life right now that you think would surrogate?
It's tough because they're all career ladies, but so they all want to act and stuff, you know.
I think you then have to find the one whose career trajectory is going down.
That's easy. Okay, my top 3 lesbian friends whose careers aren't going well.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay, and this is my camera.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I don't know. There's so many lesbians that I'd like to have kids with. Actually, I feel very. Do you know those guys who have that sickness where they want to have kids like as an illness?
Yeah.
Where they're like, I want 100 kids.
Yeah.
I low key understand them.
Just from like sheer kind of narcissism of like need to spread.
No, theirs is narcissism. Mine's not about like spreading my seed or something sick like that. But I do go, God, all these lesbians and I would have such beautiful children. You know, I think it'd be so fun to be like, oh man, that's my kid with that one. You know,
who's this person? Not asking you to name names, but how did you realize that this might be a person that you want to have kids with? What are you looking for?
He has many wonderful qualities, but I think when I think about raising kids with someone or starting a family with someone in general, not even just kids, just like operating a household like day to day, patience is the thing that I'm like, yeah, when something goes wrong on vacation or when your kids are being really annoying or just a lot of life situations call for someone to just be like, okay, that'll be fine. You know what I mean?
That's the thing that I love most about my wife. I always say that like
Patience?
I married what?
Patience.
I thought you said Asians. I was like, no, Ashkenazi Jewish.
You said I love that about my wife. I go Asian.
No, she's like I feel like I married up like morally, like I married up in character in a way that is really aspirational for me. Like,
are you debaucherous?
Am I debaucherous? That's a weirder question than Asian.
Yeah. What's your wife's race, and also are you debaucherous?
I've been debaucherous, lecherous, cantankerous, like a lot of us's. But no, she is somebody who I think just has like a very direct, beautiful moral compass that makes me want to be a better person.
Yeah.
You know, and I think transmitting that to kids is like when we both have kids, they're gonna be best friends. They're gonna play together.
That's beautiful what you said about your wife. I don't want to graze over that. If you ever put that 5-iron down, you guys are gonna start a beautiful family.
Oh God, one day.
If you just put your driver back in with the caddy, you guys are gonna have a beautiful family, I think.
Caleb, for the second course of your final meal on Earth, we have the pork belly burned to ends. This has been shipped out from Slaps Barbecue in Kansas City. We have the pickles, the beans, the mac and cheese, the baked potato casserole, a thing I've never had before. A little bit of white bread, some extra sauce on the side. And then on the West Coast barbecue front, we have Moo's Craft Barbecue, Poblano, Oaxaca sausage with both of their barbecue sauces and some pickled chilies.
Yeah.
This means so much to me that you picked this.
Do you like this place?
I love this place.
It's the best barbecue in LA, in my opinion.
That means the world to me, especially coming from Kansas City, one of the great barbecue cities in the barbecue triangle.
I know. I love. Well, Kansas City barbecue is incredible, and I shout out to Slaps. I'm so glad they sent you all this. Their pork belly burn-ins are not always on the menu. Slaps isn't necessarily where I would send someone who's never had Kansas City barbecue, but it's where I would take someone if they were like, "What barbecue would you have for lunch today for real?"
Yeah.
I wouldn't go to one of the crazy spots with a line down the street. This place often does have a line, but this is more to me like when you know the landscape of barbecue in Kansas City, this is where you go to like just have lunch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I respect that so much, man. I can't wait to dig into this. It looks so goddamn good.
Okay, I really, really hope you like it. They're so nice there too. I love them.
Oh.
Dude, I'm so mad that everyone else in here isn't eating this right now.
Come on.
Where's Lily? Lily!
Look, come here back.
Lily, would you come here, please?
Okay.
Lily, at this point, it's like, no, this is so, and y'all, so how did you, I want to know how you got this here. Will you just tell me that briefly?
Yeah, so they shipped it here, vacuum sealed, and it was whole, and then we cut it up, crisped it up in the oven, and then let it sit in the sauce, like, because the burnt end is sitting in that heat in the sauce for a long time.
Yeah.
This makes me proud to be an American.
I want to thank you for saying that. Because right now, I do feel politically right now that's a scary thing to say.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for saying that. No, I do know what you mean though. I never feel more like bald eagle soaring in the background, country music rising, than when I'm at a barbecue restaurant in Missouri or Texas or North Carolina, and I'm sitting out there and everyone's just like smiling and eating too much food in the heat.
Yeah.
I like that.
This is also like a very unique part of American culture that doesn't exist roughly anywhere in the world.
Well, I get mad sometimes. It's funny because you were talking earlier about Orange County and people having a very particular idea of Orange County, and they go, "Oh, Orange County is rich white people or whatever." People paint the whole middle part of the country as just like ignorant white people or whatever. And they do it with Kansas City too, and I'm like, Kansas City is such a profoundly influenced black city. Kansas City's like 20 to 30% black, depending on like what's going on with the census at any given time. It's a jazz capital of the country. Like the jazz history in Kansas City is a very black history. Barbecue is extremely black. And so I get really annoyed when people are like, oh God, I don't know if I want to come over there, you know? I'm like, no, come on, what are you talking about? Like some of the best parts of our country are from black culture in places like Kansas City.
I learned about Womantown in Kansas City from a podcast you did with a gay Missouri historian.
Come on.
Which is like incredible. Like you're putting your culture on the map. Lesbianism.
My culture of lesbians, I'm gonna eat all of this and be sick.
Eat all of it. I'll do it with you.
My culture of lesbians, Womantown is this really interesting thing that happened in like the 80s and 90s where a bunch of lesbians were like, we're gonna build a utopia. And they mean build it. I mean, these are lesbians we're talking about, so they're like nailing shit, you know?
I've seen them do it. It's crazy.
It's crazy how handy they are with shelves and things. So they go to all these women's festivals, you know, like Lilith Fair and stuff, and they're like, hey, we're building they're writing in the lesbian like publications, come to Kansas City, we're building a utopia. And they bought up a bunch of properties and started like fixing up houses together. And the running joke at the time, my friend Stuart Hines was telling me, he's a gay professor in Kansas City, but he was telling me that the joke at the time was, if you're a man and you drive through Womantown, duck because they'll shoot. And it was just like a super like pro-woman. I was researching for some characters that I was writing and talking to a bunch of these older lesbians who were around that community when they were making it. And it's still a very gay neighborhood in Kansas City. Kansas City is a very queer city. But yeah, really, really interesting.
The political right seems to have co-opted the entire Midwest for themselves in the narrative. Do you think you're taking it upon yourself to try and kind of reverse that in a way?
I'm just telling the truth.
Sure.
That it's not like that. They can't have it. I'm from there. We're still over there, and so it's so convenient for them that they want it to be theirs. They want to be like, this whole. They like to do that thing where they share like the red map that's like all land, and they're like, look how red this country is, and it's like that's empty land, you moron.
Even though that could be 38% blue, and that is still representative of like millions of individuals that have hopes and dreams and souls and aspirations and live in community there.
And are your neighbors. The Electoral College has to go. It's not working for us. It's bad. It's bad. It's not working, and I think it's so silly and stupid. Like most people don't even vote, and the ones that do don't have any clear ideology. In my stand-up special that's coming out, I talk about this. Like, most people in this country aren't Democrat or Republican. They're like a secret third thing that's even more psychotic. You can't actually pin them down. The trying to paint like the whole Midwest and South as being like one type of way is very silly to me. And the smartest, like sharpest, coolest left activists that I have ever met and learned the most from live in Missouri.
Yeah.
Because they're so embattled. They need it. It's like actually crucial to their day-to-day lives. Then I moved to Chicago, and you know, I love Chicago dearly, but a lot of the activists I was around were just kind of like, we're chilling. Because it wasn't so existential.
Sure.
It just wasn't. They're brilliant. They're very, very educated. But the things I learned about activism from people working in leftist politics in Missouri are still the most important things I learned about politics. I love those people.
Can I give you a sausage?
Would you?
I'm really excited.
No, you dodged me. You dodged me earlier, right before we cut, about God.
Sure. I did.
You didn't want to talk to me about God. What's your faith?
None.
You know faith?
No faith.
Did you ever think about it?
Nah.
Never crossed your mind.
You ready to go on to course number 2?
You think I'm not going to ask you about God in the next one?
No, no. That wasn't. I was literally stopping so you would ask me about God in the next one.
Okay.
I grew up Jewish, but by culture and not faith necessarily.
Okay.
I found out that all of my Jewish grandmas, everyone, ones who kept kosher, just straight did not believe in God one bit. Mm-hmm. They're like, this is a cultural tradition. Our family fled Lithuania from the pogroms in the 1880s. This is what has kept us sort of alive as a family, are these traditions, but no actual theology. It's not until recently I started thinking about that. I grew up right next to the second biggest evangelical megachurch in America.
Thank you.
Saddleback Church in Orange County.
Love their work.
Are you familiar with them?
No.
Okay, thank God. Jesus, I was like, no, they got me. But like actively tried to be converted. I remember going to a friend's house and his family was serving KFC, and I reached to grab a piece of chicken, and his dad grabbed my hand and said, in this house, we thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for our meals. And if you would like to partake in this bounty of Kentucky Fried Chicken, you will do the same. And
That's
he knew
awesome.
I was Jewish.
That's awesome.
It was awesome. Then I ate it and I threw up on his trampoline.
Yeah.
A bunch of coleslaw.
That's awesome.
The same coming in and out.
That's awesome. I hope you don't cut when I did that to you before we started the show.
No.
You tried to bring out the food, and I said, "We pray." So. And you said you were going to cut it, but please don't let it
Yeah,
out.
no, we'll shoot a pickup later just so we get it clean.
Yeah, yeah.
But what about you? I know you grew up in a big evangelical church, but it sounds like it was your decision. It wasn't like any family.
My mom, she's always been. She's a very nice person. She's a Christian. She reads the Bible, but she's never gone to church because she was working so much and raising kids that she was like, the last thing I'm doing on my Sunday morning is getting dressed up and going to a building to be told how to act.
God wouldn't want that.
She's like, no, he rested. Like, it was just never her thing. And so, but all my friends were going to church, and so I was like, I want to fit in. So I started like sending myself to church. And my mom was, I think I do genuinely, she would never say this, but I genuinely think she was a little like, oh, you know, I think she was like, you're kind of like a loser, you know? Being like, what do you mean you want to go to church 2 times a week, freak? You're like a kid, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I see that from her perspective.
Yeah, but it was also where all my friends were hanging out, and I went to one of those cool mega churches. Do you see that? I hope the camera caught that like incredible juice pop from that sausage.
Get the instant replay.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
I really didn't. I really wanted to just get into it and not cut it with a knife because I think that's the proper way to eat that sausage.
You're correct, and it looked really cool. I hope the camera shows what I saw. But yeah, all my friends were hanging out there. They were like giving out iPods and shit.
Was there a moment when you really knew, like, oh, this isn't for me. I gotta get out.
Yeah, there were a couple. First of all, I read the Bible.
It's a bad start.
That'll be the big one.
That one. That's big.
I'm dead serious. You read that thing front to cover and you go, this is bad shit.
I really liked Revelation. I loved it, man.
You go, this shit's crazy. Another one was, I remember in youth group, one time I asked, there was a, hey, this is going to be sad. There was a kid that killed themselves. And I'm so sorry to bring that up, but I asked at youth group, we were talking about it. We were having a discussion, which is actually quite healthy and good. But I was like, what happens to someone who like commits suicide? And they were like, well, unfortunately, they do go to hell. And I was like, okay.
Insane to just stare at someone's face and say that.
Truly crazy about like their friend. And then I remember I was like, okay, let me take it a step further and see if I really understand this. And then I was maybe in like middle school. I was like, what about someone who's born and genuinely never heard the word of God? Like no one ever witnessed to them. They're in like a far corner of the world. And I'm not kidding you, my very otherwise like reasonable youth pastor, like a reasonable guy who exists in the world, was like, well, the Bible says that we should know by the wind in the trees that God is real. And I said, this is stupid, man. I was like, I'm so sorry, but that's crazy.
Here is your iPod, good sir.
I was like, I'm taking my latte and I'm hitting the road. This is crazy. I just couldn't believe it. And that for me was one of the times that I was like, no chance.
As I get older, I just start craving that amount of faith. And I don't know if it's certainty, some sort of purpose, community. I know you went through like this very heavy atheist phase where you were just posting on Facebook about the flying spaghetti monster, and you were hosting film screenings of atheist films for the youth group kids.
Yeah.
Did you show them the movie Jesus Camp?
No, Jesus Camp was a little bit after that, so we were already out of, but I showed them, well, now I feel bad that I put his work on because he's gone nuts, but Bill Maher Religulous, that movie I was showing all my Christian friends and being like, so what do you have to say? Like trying to like ruin their faith as a teenager. But I truly, I think like what I want more than anything all the time is just connection. I'm like chasing connection. I want to connect with people. I think when I was a little bit younger, I wanted people to like me really badly, and I was mistaking that for chasing connection. I was like, everyone needs to like me. I can connect with plenty of people who don't like me. I think it happens all the time, But I just want to connect with people so badly that I'm like, yeah, I could see myself ending up in a religious movement on accident.
Where do you actually stand in terms of theology, though? Like, if you were to say, does God exist or not? Or is that question even on top of your mind?
Yeah, I think to me, God is an energy and like a force. I think God is like, I do think that generally humans have within us, now some of us bury it and some of us destroy it and some of us put greed ahead of it, but I think humans at a baseline are fundamentally good, and there's a force in the universe that pushes us to want to be good and do good and to love people and to be nice, and I think that force is God, but I don't think God's like a person in the sky like, raining down judgment. And I'm heaven maybe, hell absolutely not. There's no such thing as hell.
Makes no sense.
There's nothing you could do on this earth that would be proportional to an eternity of anything.
If it was really down there, we would have found it with strip mining. We would have just gotten there.
Well, and I do a lot of drilling for oil.
Sure, yeah. I didn't know that about you. Yeah.
So
the side hustle.
Yes.
Drive Uber, you mine for oil.
I mine for oil, and I'm happy to do it. And the reason is because
Have those ducks recovered yet?
No.
No. Well, what are you gonna do?
But they're ducks.
They're
At a
ducks.
certain point, who f***ing cares?
I don't care about them at all.
But I do. I drill, and I think I would have found something down there.
I think so. Yeah.
The way that we're drilling.
Yeah. Has the fracking company, has that taken off yet? Is that public knowledge? If we don't have to talk about the fracking company if you don't want to, if it's not public, but I would love for you to tell them about it.
Where's my publicist? She's here somewhere, isn't she?
Caleb, for course number 3 of your final meal on Earth, we have the bucatini with guanciale from Hippo. We have the crab fried rice from Love to Eat Thai Bistro. Then the Sichuan green beans from Shang La Hui. Can I offer you some fresh grated cheese on top of your bucatini?
I'm actually okay without cheese, but I would love to do it for you if you would allow me to give you some on yours.
Yeah.
Okay, fabulous. Thank you.
Do you want me to hold that?
Yeah, you ready? Okay,
Yes.
say when, and maybe we could put some Italian music over this. This is way harder than you think, huh? Am I doing this the right way?
Sorry, I'm listening to the Italian music in my head.
Or whatever when it's like a gondola vibe.
You watch Eurovision?
No?
What? Why?
What's that?
You don't know about Eurovision? It's the Super Bowl of
That's the singing
live
one?
international. Yeah. It's
Oh yeah, no, I've never seen it, but I know about them. They have like the freakish people from Finland and stuff that do their songs.
Yeah. So you're talking about Cha 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 by Karya. Should have won in 2023, but did not. It's actually pretty upsetting to me because I dressed like him for the next Eurovision party though.
Yeah.
We rented out our favorite dive bar. Wore chainmail.
Yeah.
That's enough cheese. Thank you so
Nice.
much. Yeah.
Yeah. I find it very scary when Europeans gather.
Nothing good happens when they do. I'll tell you that.
Historically, we shouldn't let them get together, and when they do, I feel very scared.
Either paganism or fascism.
Yeah.
Either one. It's like, don't touch me.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No.
And, or when they sing, even it's like, stop it.
I don't know. I like the sexy bisexual Italian rock bands though. They're fun.
Sexy
Måneskin.
bisexual Italian rock bands.
Måneskin, they won in 2021. Incredible year.
I'm gonna have to tap in.
Well,
This is incredible. One thing I tried to do with my dishes was I thought, man, so many people might watch this because you guys have such a big following.
thank you.
You have a very successful show.
I appreciate that. Really means a lot that you said that.
I want to congratulate you. But so many people might watch this, and if they come to LA, I don't want to give dishes from restaurants they can't get into. You know?
Okay.
I'm like, oh, these are things I love that I actually ate when I lived here. Hippo, great restaurant, good pasta. Get a little high, go sit on the patio.
Yeah, it's a great place.
Why not?
Out there in the sticks though, depending on where you live, you got to get out to Highland Park.
That's true.
You know?
That's really true. I do love the bucatini with the guanciale, and I will say it's taken on a lot of sauce. The bucatini, so it's a little overcooked.
Yeah.
The noodles are too soft.
Sure. So when I asked you that,
Yeah.
hey, we got this driven over from Hippo, the chef made it fresh.
Yes.
But we couldn't fire it fresh, and
Yeah.
the noodles are going to be overcooked. So if you could not pay any attention to that, you decided then that you were going to do that.
Yes, sir. And do you want to know why I made that call?
I would love to know.
Because I often will do this thing on interview shows where I accuse someone of being, homophobic or Republican or whatever.
Yeah.
You, in all seriousness, before the cameras rolled for this segment, you called me a hack. You called me a hack.
No, I said many people were saying that you have hack tendencies.
You called me a hack.
I
and
tried to
so-
do that to goad you out of saying that the pasta was overcooked.
I came in here with nothing
took
but,
the bait.
but respect for you and your staff. The way you've treated me has been crazy.
Yeah.
It has been so crazy.
With respect and kindness. It's insane
With
that we did
respect
that.
and kindness, yeah.
How do you think you've remained so bulletproof with all of the crazy shit you say? Is it because people know that you have a really good heart?
But I'm a comedian. I feel like I'm supposed to be saying edgy stuff. Don't you feel?
There are certain things that you say that end up being Republican coded, as in, and I don't think it should be this way.
Say it.
But saying that I'm a comedian, I should be saying edgy stuff.
Yeah.
There's a very different type of comic than you that generally says those things.
Yeah.
But in the same way that Republicans have tried to intellectually colonize the Midwest, do you think they're doing that with edgy comedy?
I think it's very funny that leftists, we get so, the thing that the right says all the time about, queer people
Yeah.
and trans people and, leftists is we're like woke scolds or something. I'm like, if you hung out with some of the trans women I hang out with, you would hear the most vile shit you have ever heard in your... I mean, these people are nasty. They're really funny, and they're joking about everything, and it's really, really... I mean, it cracks me up. But I just think, I don't know. I just want to be funny, and I think if in a couple years people go, that guy is so annoying, I'd go, no worries. Go, hey, rock on, y'all.
a healthy way to think about it.
Well, whatever, you can't do everything forever.
Hard pivot here. I'm too full to find a segue. You're writing a movie directed by Lily Wachowski about your dead dad called Trash Mountain.
Yeah.
What do you want people to take away from that?
Well, I want to thank you for doing that question with care. I just love how you teed that one up, and no, I'm playing. Imagine I was sensitive. I wrote a movie about my dad dying. He was a hoarder. which is awesome. But yeah, it's about going home to deal with that. And it's it's a great team. Colin Trevorrow's producing, Lily's involved, Chris Ray, brilliant director, is also involved. I co-wrote it with my friend Ruby Castor, who's a genius. And we have some really fun cast attached to it, but you're never allowed to talk about that stuff in case it doesn't happen. But I'm excited. I think we'll probably make it pretty soon.
I know you said that when you went to spend weekends with your dad, it felt like disappearing into a black hole, which is like a really heartbreaking thing.
Yeah.
Because I grew up going to a visitation divorced dad where it was like awesome, and I look forward to that all the time. But are there any things that you look back on as an adult with time with your dad that you're really grateful for?
My dad showed me a lot of comedy. He showed me a lot of stand-up, which he should not have been doing. I mean, he showed me Carlin when I was like 6.
Damn.
My dad would love like random shit. Like he was a huge fan. He was a fan of Thurgood Marshall, the Supreme Court Justice. He loved the guy. He was like, yeah, his decisions were they were just measured. Like he like really loved the Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall. And I just like he respected integrity. He taught me a lot about like what it means to be a nice person and like he was very big on like politeness, which is funny because he was kind of an asshole. But yeah, he taught me so many good things. Did he know
he was an asshole? Would he agree with that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, but he would give it like a folksy kind of like he'd be like I'm a little rough around the edges. I'm like, you're an asshole, you know?
Yeah. I understood your dad was also kind of depressed and socially anxious, but people would often tell you that you reminded them of him when he was young. Does any part of that freak you out?
Yes.
That, am I just doomed to turn into this person who was obviously such a brighter light earlier in his life?
Totally, dude. My dad would be like, when he was still alive, my dad would be like, I used to be just like you.
Oh.
I lit up every room. And I was like, don't say that.
I had that beautiful singing voice, too.
I was like, It's such a scary thing to say because he's like, yeah, then something someday just flipped. I don't actually fear that it'll happen to me because I think the big mistake of my dad's life was that he really gave in to the mental illness and he like really just was like, well, I'm depressed. What am I supposed to do? You know, and he allowed himself to be siloed. And I don't even, I have like a rule that when I'm feeling depressed or I'm feeling down, it's 2 to 1. 2 to 1, you have to say yes, and 1 you can say no. You can if Monday night you want to stay in the house, cancel your plans, and eat horribly, do nothing, watch garbage, go nuts. But the next 2 nights you're doing something, you know. And I think those rules and that like the community and the network that I have, I think that will help me to not ever become like him. But that's scary shit to say to your kid, knowing that you're off. You know? Yeah. To be like, I used to be like you, and then something just clicked, and now I'm depressed for the rest of my life.
I think I saw that in both my parents. That's always been my biggest fear. My wife and I were having the conversation recently of, are we all sort of doomed? But it sounds like you think that there are actual measures that you could put in place that can like stop you from succumbing to that.
You want to talk about a moment where I sound kind of Republican? I do randomly believe in personal responsibility.
Hey-oh, he said it. Ring the bell. Caleb, for your final course, your final meal on Earth, you got the Whole Foods berry chantilly cake, but we wanted to make it a little extra special for you. So you were recently named the 6th... Caleb, you recently named the 6th most influential creator in the world by Rolling Stone magazine. That is 1 spot higher than Mr. Beast, who then rage tweeted that he couldn't believe that a person with only 1 million followers was named more influential than him, and that the Rolling Stones were mad at him. And so I know you've been in active peace talks.
Yeah.
We're hoping that this cake can sort of seal the deal.
Yeah, that's very cute. God love him. He called me, Mr. Beast. Called me and said, I'm so sorry about that. And I said,
did he actually? This is really
he really did.
Incredible.
He said, can I call you? I said, yeah, sure. He called me. I said, why the hell not, brother? He called me. He was so apologetic. I said, I legitimately thought it was funny. I thought it was so funny. I laughed so hard. It meant nothing to me. I also, by the way, he's right. I was like,
hold on. Okay, now we gotta change. So this is no longer sorry, Mr. Beast. This is sorry, signed Mr. Beast. Also, I just snuffed the candle flame out with my hand.
That was beautiful. Improv though. You got that quick. Sorry, Mr. Beast.
You should blow the candle out. It's only.
I will, but I thought it was funny. I thought he was right. I thought the whole thing. I also don't. By the way, I don't think the list was meant to be ranked. I think they just put it in order of what they thought would make people keep reading. But I thought it was so funny. I was like, that's hilarious. And he was very apologetic. I was like, no worries, dude. I thought it was funny.
You've made it.
Yeah,
please.
Are you guys impressed by that? No one cared. I did that from so far away. Thank you, guys. Okay.
Can I cut you a piece?
Yeah.
Do you want from the sorry Mr. B side or the berry side?
Berry side. So there was some berry chantilly cake from Whole Foods community. Back me up on this in the comments. There was there was some drama. Because Whole Foods, now you're thinking, Caleb, you're a classy guy. Why did you put a cake from Whole Foods on the damn list on the show? Because the cake is genuinely incredible, and you can get it anywhere. So when you're traveling, it feels like a little something familiar. And they changed the recipe, and they thought we wouldn't notice. And we did. The Chantilly cake community, we went off.
Yeah.
All of us.
The they and we in this are interesting. They changed the recipe and thought we wouldn't notice.
They, Whole Foods, we, the community.
Okay, I'm sorry. Apparently it was very simple.
We, the Chantilly cake community.
Yeah.
We, the Chantilly cake community, we noticed, we uproared, and I've heard that maybe they changed it back. I don't know if they did change it back. I don't know. I haven't had it in a minute. Because when they changed it, I boycotted silently. But
You're very brave. The history of activism does run deep in your family.
yes, if I could send this cake to a terrorist group, I think I could get them to stop it.
Just to knock it off.
Pick a terrorist group and send them this cake and just write a note that says, would you guys quit?
Yeah.
And I think they will.
And they would say, sorry, Mr. Beast.
Sorry, Mr. Beast.
Which is crazy.
It's incredible.
Have you been to Sweet Lady Jane?
What are you doing?
What do you mean what am I doing?
What are you doing? You're trying to talk to me about another cake when you just had my cake?
Actually, yeah, no, I can actually... I'm dead serious right now. You talked about how I'm kind of earnest. I look at what I said, and I'm disgusted by that.
Where's Sweet Lady Jane? I don't know.
Sweet
where
Lady
that is.
Jane popularized this cake in LA called the Triple Berry Cake.
Oh, you think this is a knockoff of it?
This is a knockoff, and it's not...
It's not as good.
Well, now I'm doubling down on all the rudeness.
Oh my God.
It's not nearly as good.
But you see how he's been secretly kind of rude to me the whole episode, and now it's coming out. Yeah. It's coming out very directly.
I've been so passive aggressive, and now I'm
Whoa,
bold because
that's
it's about
crazy.
to wrap up. If you left now, we could still have a functional episode.
Yeah.
Up. So now I have nothing to lose.
No, I think you're awesome, and I've really enjoyed hanging out with you. But you clearly have a real boiling hatred for me under the skin.
Yeah.
And the cake thing was the mask slipped, my friend.
I did.
The commenters will prove me right on this.
I normally don't blow up like that. And I lost my cool there.
We got to get this guy to the golf course.
I need to blow up some steam. I was thinking about what Mr. B said, and like you said, he is correct. Mm-hmm. You only have 1 million followers. You also are incredibly influential, though.
Barely 1 million.
You are a lot more influential than your followers would belie. And then I was thinking, you could have way more followers, and you've actively made choices not to.
I don't want more followers.
Love that for you.
Please don't cut that. Please stop following. No, I don't want more followers.
Graham, get out of here.
What do I need? I'm chilling. My bills are paid. I get to do shows. I do the size of venues that I like. My staff is paid. My family is sick. I'm chilling. I don't want more. I'm actually very scared. If you want an earnest note, I had a big crash out to my friends recently because with the HBO special coming out and some of the work and stuff, I'm very grateful because I like making stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I like being in movies and I like working with people and collaborating, but I'm like really scared because I don't want to be more famous. I really, really, really am scared of it. I think I've seen people get very famous that I know, and I really view it as a process of isolation, and it's like you're standing on a landmass and it becomes smaller and smaller under your feet until you're on an island of one. You can't go grocery shopping, you can't go to a concert and be left alone, you can't go get a coffee without it being strange. I really, really, really am not dying for more of it, but it's kind of, I can understand why people would be annoyed to hear me say that if they were, because then here I am doing this shit. You know what I mean? I'm on your show. It's a huge show. I'm doing a stand-up special where I stand up there for an hour and talk. I just like it. I like making stuff and I want to make people laugh. I'm very scared of fame. And so I try very hard to thread this needle of like, okay, I do have a public career and that's insane of me for someone who says they don't want more followers. But I try to just be like, well, I don't have to try to constantly be growing it end over end. Do you know what I mean?
After climbing the mountain, what's left for me but lightning?
I've been saying that. You took that from me. That's my quote. You took that.
That was your high school yearbook quote.
That's my high school yearbook quote. I authored that.
The world seems to be getting worse.
You think so?
The phones are killing people. The AI is making us dumber. The oceans are acidifying all this. What? What gives you hope for the future?
Yeah, I guess it is getting pretty bad.
You just thought about it.
Well, shit.
Now I feel bad for bursting the bubble.
Oh, damn, I hadn't thought about it that way.
Yeah, I know things were going pretty well until they changed the cake, and I think that's when it
started.
downhill,
You're
yeah.
kidding, but wait until the Barry Chantilly heads get a hold of this. I mean, they're going to be in the comments letting you know we had a real moment of crisis. What's giving me hope? Like people, I think people are mostly nice. I really do think you read all this stuff about how like everyone's antisocial and everyone's this or that, and then you go out and you're like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, oh, good. What about you? It's like people are generally nice.
And you're reading it on your phone, which is killing you.
I think if you go out into the world with an energy of wanting to meet nice people, of course you interact with some crazy annoying people.
Sure.
But for the most part, you meet nice people. I do think we're mostly good. And I think that what gives me hope is the idea that whether I'm right or wrong, maybe I'm just really naive and dumb, and I'm totally at peace with that. But I really do think people mostly want to do good, and I think that we will, even though we're in a really weird moment. The reason I think that is because even people who support really bad evil stuff, they do believe that they're good. You know what I mean? And I think that their desire to be good, even though they're wrong and being bad, that's important because it means they want to be good. So
it's
if we
something
can
that can be harnessed and directed.
Yeah, if we can just show them that, it's like you're actually not doing good even though you want to so badly. That's obviously the hard part that I don't know who's going to do it. Probably not me. I'm busy, but somebody's got to get into that.
You have an HBO special coming out.
Well, I have an HBO special coming out. I can't be worried about stuff, other stuff.
It's a different
military conflicts and things like that
Absolutely
are not. Yeah, but if you guys could stream my HBO special, I think that's the first step in
It's
healing.
called Caleb Hearon, Model Comedian?
Yes.
And it's out on September 19th?
It's on September 19th on HBO.
Sure. But you don't think the world conflicts are going to be going on after that?
No. So the special comes out September 19th.
Sure.
And then I think war ends on the 20th.
That makes sense, yeah.
No more war after the 20th.
I got the plugs switched up. I was saying war ends 19th, your special out on the 20th.
No, yeah, it's
No, it's-
special out 19th.
sure.
As a result, war ends the 20th.
That makes more sense then.
And then
okay.
by Halloween, no famine. And then I
Definitely.
think everyone's housed by January.
Yeah,
That's my plan.
that's what your publicist sent me.
That's what my publicists are telling people.
Sure.
So, but you guys have to stream. If you don't stream, we can't do anything about houselessness.
Yeah, that's a toughie.
So please stream.
What do you think happens when you die?
I have a real fear that it's nothing. You ever think about that?
Yeah.
You ever think about that?
I'm almost like a 99.7% certain in my own politics and spirituality.
God, that would be
That's the
tough.
case.
Wouldn't that be silly?
I
All
guess.
this for
like
nothing.
taking off a shoe, though,
Yeah.
or driving home from your friends, except forever. And
The thing about taking off the shoe is that you get to watch TV or something afterwards. It's real tough to be like, you take off the shoe and then it's nothing.
then you fall into a black hole.
It's like,
before
okay,
you're
I'll keep the
born.
shoe on. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do I think happens when we die? I really hope it's something nice. I kind of been flirting with the idea recently that maybe everyone goes to a good place and that no one gets punished for anything that they did here, and that it's just like we all get there and we all kind of go like, that was crazy that you did that, But they're good in the, they're good once they get there. That they go,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all. What was I thinking?
All those people that tried to do good but ended up doing bad in their effort to do good, they kind of get up there and they're all healed in this universal love.
And if it's nothing, I'm gonna be so pissed because what was all this about? Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
What do you think of me?
Well, I will say that is the second time you've asked me that, and knowing each other for about 68 minutes.
What do you think of me?
Sure. No, I think you are.
No, don't answer. Don't answer.
No, I'm going to answer. I think you could have done anything that you wanted in this life. I think you are that gifted. Logos, pathos, ethos. Like, you have every single trapping of somebody who could have, frankly, conquered the world and done bad things.
Evil.
A little bit, yeah.
Life is long.
Life is long. You could still be pivoting, become lead legal counsel for British Petroleum.
Yeah.
Something like that. I know you'd do it. But I'm very glad that you've chosen to use those skills for comedy, and I think you have incredible deductive powers to use that for your own happiness, not your own power, which I think is very important.
Well, that's very sweet. I did, when I said it, I thought maybe we would come to kind of a funny place where you did like a joke, and then you said something very sweet, which was extremely nice of you, and I do appreciate that.
Do you want me to do it? We can do another take.
Do you want to do a
it's
take where we do a joke?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you guys just decide what you want to use?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You guys ready? Okay. What do you think of me?
Yeah, they've already gotten the lightning round.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Gotta give them an option.
Doing this for what do you think of me?
Caleb, who's the one person, dead or alive, you'd want to share your actual last meal with?
Dolly Parton.
What song do you want to be played at your funeral?
Dynamite. I don't even know who sings that song. Is that Akon? Tayo Cruz. Thank you, by the way.
Why was everyone so fast on Tayo Cruz?
Nailed it up there. What was your name? Samara. Real as truly, I went, who does Tayo Cruz? Crazy pull. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's a good song. What is the gender of Dr. Pepper?
Dr. Pepper is a boy.
Wow.
Yeah, because I just love guys, and I just think like, it's not that women can't be doctors. It's not like that at all.
No.
But I just love guys and hanging out with guys, and when I crack a cold Dr. Pepper open, I just feel like I'm with the boys.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
It's got a sick ass
Cheers, for real.
dinosaurs on it.
But shout out to women in many ways.
Well, I do love women as well. Orange Crush is women.
Orange Crush is, and you know what else is woman?
What is that?
Cherry Coke.
Who's your dream eulogizer at your funeral?
Oh, you know who I want? A Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh.
Wouldn't that be nice if he knew me, and he's had really sweet stuff to say about me?
But yeah, but you would only want him insofar as he knew you and was able to speak to your work and character.
Yeah, it's just that he'd get like choked up and he'd do that thing. You know that thing that men do when they're clearly wanting to cry but they are embarrassed, and so they go like, you know, where they just like can't. They just try to like talk through it, but they're like, oh, dang it, like that kind of thing.
Breathing through a real small hole in your.
Like it'd be cool if he did.
Sure.
Like he was so busted up over my death that he was doing stuff like that.
But real, not acted, or you'd let him, or you'd want him to act.
No, I feel that his acting was only a demonstration of how interesting of a person he was in real life.
At what point during the Kansas City Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl did your heart officially break and know that the game was lost?
Yeah, I was home by halftime. I left. My friends, I was in Kansas City, we were having a watch party. I want to tell you, before it even went to half, I had my crock pot and I was loading it into the trunk of my car.
No, the little Smokies with the grape jelly and the barbecue sauce, you took that home?
It was like, I don't know, we were down by like 100,000 points or something, and Jalen Hurts is being like the sexiest person alive.
He's so sexy.
Him and Saquon Barkley are being so hot on the sidelines.
Cooper DeJean, pick six.
Oh my God, they're like
defense.
palling around over there. I was in the kitchen just grabbing my shit angry, just like grabbing my chips. And I walked in, my friends were like, are you good heading out? I was like, yeah. Put my stuff in the car, went home, didn't even watch the rest of the game. I was so upset.
For 2 consecutive hours, I was the only Eagles fan there. Me and my wife, both independently Eagles fans.
Yeah.
Only Eagles fans there. We were sitting there as everybody came up to us and just went, congratulations. Like we were a 6-year-old at our own birthday party. We were hammered. I made something called bird juice that was bright green with Midori in it. And I just went, thank you, mister.
Thanks, y'all.
And then, yeah,
well, you guys are brave because I host watch parties for the Chiefs every week, and I don't allow anyone who's not a Chiefs fan to come. You have to cheer for the Chiefs or you can't come.
What's your biggest fear?
Either being, like when you sit down on the toilet and you forgot to look inside, and then if a snake jumped up and bit you.
Yeah.
Well, if you're ever sitting on the toilet and you think of this, you could be really, really scared, and I often am. And then other than that, it's maybe that people don't like me.
This is really like a one biggest fear.
Yeah, I'll go snake.
You'd rather somebody dislike you, but your asshole not be bitten by a snake.
Yeah, I'm going snake.
I get that.
Yeah.
What was the strongest bit from your SNL audition?
You know what? The 2 best things ever happened to me are that I didn't get that job twice, but I did. That's the top 2.
That was really good.
That's the top 2. I did, though, the first time I really wanted it, because the first time I auditioned for SNL was 2019, and I didn't have any followers or team or any career to speak of, and I was like, I want to make comedy and people actually see it, you know? And I had this one bit called Haunted Mirror. It was my closer at the time. You know, you get a 5-minute character set. And this is why they flew me out to screen test, is that they saw this bit live in Chicago. And it was this woman who, she was talking to her daughter's like friends at their sleepover, and she was like laying down the ground rules for the house. And she was like, y'all just have fun and like, you know, keep the noise to a dull roar. And then one last thing, don't go upstairs and look into my haunted mirror. Okay. And then she, you know, there's no one else there, but I'd go, oh, sorry, what's that, honey? Oh, yeah, there's a mirror upstairs with a green glow of its own emission. Don't look into it, all right? Thank you, sugar. What? And then she kept answering questions about it, and it was just all about this mirror she got. And she's like, yeah, one day I brought it home, and first time I looked into it, I woke up 3 hours later with blood coming from my eyes and nose. And she's telling about this haunted mirror. And it was, I don't remember most of it, but it was, I was very, very proud of it, and I loved that bit. And I didn't get it.
I'm so glad they didn't find that funny, because otherwise I don't know if you'd be here. So I think it's a real blessing.
Yeah, it was a blessing. Shout out to all my friends who work there, but I know it was a blessing for me. But yeah, I love that bit.
Finally, Caleb, are you happy?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Happy.
I am quite happy. I feel very happy. I do sometimes wonder if I'm happy, you know, because you have a day where you're like really stressed out and you're like, do I like what I'm doing? Am I happy? Feelings are not characteristics. They're things that happen to you all the time. So am I always happy? No, sometimes I'm pissed off, sometimes I'm sad. But I think overall, when we ask if someone's happy, we mean, do you like your life? Are you happy to be alive? Would you like to continue doing it? And the answer to all those questions for me is absolutely yes.
Caleb, if you want to deliver your last words to that camera right there.
Okay, my very last words. I hope everybody had a nice time. I hope everybody had a nice time. Wouldn't that be sweet?
That would be really sweet if they did. I think those are really nice last words.
I think so too.
Everyone, check out Caleb Hearon, model comedian on HBO Max 9/19, and then on 9/20, No More Wars. Tell them about the famine ending.
No more war on 9/20. By Halloween, no more houselessness. By the new year, no, it's Halloween famine.
Halloween famine ends, and that's also on HBO Max.
2026, yeah, these are all the specials I have coming out this year. 2026, no more unhoused.
Sure, that's
unless you want to be.
No, unless you want to be.
Yeah. If you want to be hungry or unhoused, you're welcome to.
100%.
Yeah.
Also on HBO Max.
All on HBO. Thank you, HBO. We really love you.
100%. And I want to thank Depression for being a proud sponsor of this episode. You've always come through. You're the reason I drive a 9-year-old Nissan. So thank you so much to Depression. Caleb, you got anything else to plug?
No, I would just love to hang out with you again, brother, at the driving
really like
range
that.
or wherever.
I would, yeah, driving range, just me, you, and my wife. Just hitting that driving range. We all gotta eat and we're all gonna die, but in the meantime, check out our Last Meals t-shirt and hat, available now at mythical.com.